everyone, it's Miss Tess. Today we're going to be making a science sensory bin. Like all of our good sensory bins, we start with a box, preferably with a lid. Next up, you're going to need to add a filling. So our sensory bin today is going to be a biome. So what we're going to do is we're going to be creating a certain place in the world. Now you're going to want to look at the toys in your home and you're going to want to decide what they all have in common. Maybe you have a lot of African animals or Antarctic animals or jungle animals. I have a lot of North American animals, specifically nocturnal animals. So I'm going to do a winter night. So the first step is you need a filling. I've got some craft dough right here, some white craft dough since it's going to be winter and snowing. So I've got my craft dough all squished down. And because this is using dough, you're probably not going to want to stick this back in the cabinet for too long. Make sure that your dough is still nice and fresh whenever your kids get a chance to play with it. So I've got my dough down. Now I'm going to go ahead and create some scenery. So I've got some big rocks from the garden to make some mountains here in the back, maybe with a cave in there. And then I also found a really cool rock that has some moss growing on it because sometimes you do see moss in the winter. So thank you, garden, for providing today. And I've also got some really fun rocks from my rock collection that I'm just gonna throw in here to make some nice gravelly areas for our animals to play in. Now I've got my ground, but everyone knows that even in the winter, we've still got our conifer trees. So I'm gonna add in a couple of pine branches. You can stick them down in your dough so that it actually looks like your trees are standing up for a little while. Now we've got our setting. It's time for our animals. So I've got lots of things that you might see at night around here. Like everybody's got an owl that's hooting in their backyard at 3 a.m., right? And we've got our raccoons that like to play in our trash, along with our foxes that also like to play in our trash. Maybe you live near a forest and you've seen a mountain lion or a cougar around, or there's a family of skunks that you've seen back in the woods behind your house. I know I personally hear the coyotes at night where I live. Or maybe you've come across a badger. That would be cool. So the opportunity here is for the kids to have free play where they create what is going on here. But one thing that they will notice is that as their animals are walking along on the dough, they're leaving tiny little footprints, which we know are called tracks. So if you have a track book nearby, your kids might be interested in trying to figure out what the tracks are for the different animals as they're walking around in the snow. So this is just one example of how you can make a biome. Use whatever materials you have in your home and outside in your yard and the toys that you already have and create something great for your kids to experiment and play with. Thanks!
If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and follow us on social media. Daniel Boone Regional Library.